is Rebecca Reed. Thank you for being here today.
You're welcome.
Rebecca Reed is a young living silver leader who helps educate and lead a team of over 200 men and women. Her goal is to encourage and empower individuals. She will be giving a brief overview of what essential oils are, how versatile they are, and how we can use them in our daily lives. Thank you again, and I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca, and I will give you a warning so that we can have a few minutes for questions and answers.
Oh, perfect. Thank
All
you.
right,
Okay.
go
All
ahead.
right. Okay, good morning. I know y'all aren't able to talk back to me, but I hope you're all doing well. So my name is Rebecca. Some of you know me. I actually used to work at ABL. I was Miss Siobhan's administrative assistant. I moved away so that I could go to school. I graduated from Nichols in Thibodeau in May of this year, and I am currently a social worker with everything going on. I'm working from home. I do telehealth, and then my little side hustle is this, which is Young Living. And so I have a team of men and women under me. I say under, I don't mean under me in a derogatory way, but that's just the way the setup is on the computer. They're literally under me. Um, but what that means is I have people that I have um, taught them about oils, how to use them, ways that they can utilize them in their daily lives, and then they grab a starter kit. I say starter kit. There are different options. And so I'm not going to go over the different options today because there's quite a few. But if you're interested at the end of this, what I'm going to do is I'm not sure if they have my contact info, but I'll just tell you like my email and my phone number. And so if you are interested in getting oils and using them, you can reach out to me and we can kind of talk about what starter kit would be best for you and your personal needs. So with that being said, I'm just going to tell you about oils and kind of what they are. Essential oils are essentially the chemical constituents that we take from plants, and they come from different parts of plants. You can get them from like tree bark, you can get them from petals, you can get them, will there be an interpreter? Is there an interpreter here or no?
I am waiting. As they enter, I will spotlight her with you.
Okay,
So,
perfect. Okay, good. Okay.
Type that, waiting on her.
Interpreter. Okay, perfect. All right. So oils they live inside of plants, and we extract them from the different parts of the plants and then we use them. I don't want the word chemical to scare you because even water is a chemical. And so with safety, with using them safely and being cautious of your usage of them, they're not harmful in any way. So I don't want you to think that the word chemical is like a scary thing because water is a chemical. But we extract them. There's different ways. Typically, it's a steam distillation process, and then they get bottled. The oils get bottled into the bottles, and then you can use them. Now, Young Living has like over 300 oils, I want to say. So there's a lot. So obviously, I'm not going to go over all of them, but I thought that I would highlight 5 of my favorite oils that I use a lot and kind of just tell you how I use them. I use oils throughout the entire day. So I used to, when I was working for Siobhan, I wasn't an oil user at the time, but then I went to school. I used oils throughout my college career. I used oils when I was an ABA therapist. I used them on me topically. And they helped a lot throughout my sessions because the children with autism and learning behaviors that I was working with, they would smell them. And I feel like they really did help our sessions to be more peaceful and calm. And then of course I use them now as a social worker all throughout the day to help manage my emotions. Because as you can imagine, there is a lot that goes into being a social worker. And so there are 3 ways that you can use oils. One of them is topically, which is going to be on your skin. One of them is by inhalation. So you can see right here, I have what's called a diffuser. So I do not burn candles at all because they are typically, unless they're like handmade and made with really like better ingredients, candles are typically very harmful, and you can breathe in a lot of harmful chemicals. And of course, you're breathing in like soot and smoke from that, which can be really bad for your respiratory system. So I don't burn candles at all. I exclusively use a diffuser, and I have one in every room in this house. So there's topically on your skin, there's by inhaling it through the diffuser, and then there is the ingestion. And I would not recommend, I will tell you, all oils are not created equal. So I would not recommend walking into your local Target or Walmart and just picking up an oil off the shelf, dropping a drop of lemon in your water and ingesting it, because typically oils are filled with fillers, and a lot of companies don't follow the proper protocol, the proper there is no FDA regulation on oils, and I think that's where it gets a little bit tricky, but there are ways to test oils. There's third-party testing, and there is testing that companies can do themselves to ensure that their oils are of good quality. So I don't recommend just going to the grocery store and buying an oil, because you don't know what's in it most of the time. So Young Living has what's called the seed to seal guarantee, which means that from the seed that's planted to the plant that grows to the bottling, the oil that's in the bottle, it has a seed to seal guarantee, which means it has no herbicides, pesticides, no chemicals, no fillers. It is pure essential oil straight from the plant, and it has been grown and bottled sustainably and good for the earth. So I know that's a lot of information, and there's going to be some time at the end to ask any questions, but I just wanted to highlight the 3 ways that you can use them and the importance of making sure that you are buying good quality oils, because I think that's very important. It's a lot like our food. You can buy any food, but if it's grown with herbicides and pesticides and, you know, all these chemicals and stuff, we're not taking in a good product. So now I'm just going to highlight 5 of my favorite oils, and I'm going to tell you some different ways that I use them. So one of them is lemon. So yes, this is lemon, just like your lemon oil. However, this is extracted from the rind of the fruit. So this is not going to hold the acidity like the fruit would. So you can actually drop one, if you want to ingest it, you can drop 1 to 2 drops in a glass of water, and you can drink this. It's going to help detox or help your body release toxins from the liver. It's also a natural glucagon. So I actually don't use glucagon. You know, when you buy something from a store and it has like the sticker on the bottom and you have a hard time getting it off, I typically take 1 to 2 drops of lemon. I drop it on that sticker. I let it sit for a minute or 2, and then I wipe it. It wipes it completely clean. And so this is a natural glucagon. Citrus oils are also very uplifting and mood boosting. So I typically diffuse citrus oils in the morning, like to get my day going on the right foot, and throughout the day, just to help with my mood if I feel sluggish or really slow. Maybe I need help focusing. So I'll drop a couple drops of lemon or orange into my diffuser, and that will really help with brain fog and energy. So that's lemon. That's a couple ways that I use lemon. And then the next one is lavender, which can somebody tell me if y'all got like a little thing of lavender oil in the mail? I think if you, let me see. Let's see. If you got a registration mail out, you would have gotten a lavender sample if you got a registration mail out. No, you didn't? Okay. Did anybody get a sample of lavender? Anybody?
Yes, I got some.
You did?
Very
Okay.
Joseph.
Okay, so do you have that? Have you smelled it? Have you opened it?
No, I have it here.
Okay, if you'd like to open that up, you can kind of smell this with me.
Okay.
You want to open that up?
All right. Oh, it smells good.
It smells good. Okay. So lavender is actually one of, if not the most adulterated oil on the market, because lavender is most widely associated with relaxation and sleep. You'll notice like a lot of spas and aromatherapy, or people who do yoga, typically they use lavender. And so it's associated with sleep and relaxation. And it is really, really good for that. But the other thing that I use this a lot for, which I know y'all probably have the same issue, is mosquito bites, because these mosquitoes out here are like the size of the state bird. And so they bite me all the time. And so lavender, what I do when I get bit by a mosquito is I grab my lavender, I open it up, and I put 1 drop in the palm of my hand, and then I apply that oil to the mosquito bite, and it stops it from itching. So that is probably the like what I use lavender for the most, is to stop mosquito bites from itching. Something else that has to do with relaxation is if I take a bath, I'll take some Epsom salt, which is just magnesium, and I'll put a couple drops of lavender into the Epsom salt, and then I'll put that in my bath. And so it's great for skin. And so that's one of the reasons I do it. So it's relaxing and it's really great for your skin. So that's lavender. Okay, so then I have 3 more. The next one is one that I used a lot in college for exam anxiety. Anybody have or had exam anxiety? You get really stressed if you have to take a test. It could be a school test, a driving test. It could be like a test for your job. It could be any kind of test. It just gives me anxiety. I don't do well with it. So I'll use Valor. Valor is what we call courage in a bottle. This is really great for what we call emotional support. So I reach for this a lot throughout the day now, just for emotional support to help with my emotions. If I'm upset, or something just doesn't feel right, or even when I need to do something out of the ordinary or that I would consider difficult, I'll reach for my Valor. And so what I'll do is I'll just take a drop in the palm of my hand. I will rub my hands together if I don't have a diffuser. And what I'll do is I'll put my hands in front of my nose, and I'll take a big deep breath. We call that a scent tent. And so it's a way to get aromatherapy and inhale it. But if you don't have a diffuser, you can just smell it off of your hands. And so I'll take a big deep breath, and then I give it, a few seconds or a minute or so, and it just helps to give some emotional support. So Valor is an oil that I love. And then the next two, the next one you may have heard of, I feel like it's a very popular oil and people associate it with Young Living, is Thieves. Thieves is your immune boosting powerhouse. This is an oil that I diffuse. So I will put it in my diffuser, which is sitting next to me, and it's blowing the oil and the water into the air, and I can smell it. And so this is something that I diffuse every single day to help boost my immune system, especially right now. After I go somewhere, maybe I go to the store or the drive-through or whatever, if I have contact with anyone or I'm around anyone where I'm breathing in other people's breath, I make sure that this goes in the diffuser when I get home, so I can help just support my immune system and my overall wellness. This also comes in what we call a roller bottle, which is just a slimmer bottle with an actual steel roller ball on the top. And so you can apply this oil to your body topically. So I'll take this and I'll roll it up and down my spine. Your spine is a really good place to put this oil because it's warm. And so your spine will typically hold on to disease and infection because it's warm. Our body likes places that are warm to hold on to those nasty things. All right. So then the last oil that I'm going to talk about is peppermint. And peppermint is great for digestion. So you can take this internally to help with digestion, or you can rub it on your stomach. It's also an oil. I am a migraine sufferer, and so I use peppermint topically. It creates a cooling sensation, which feels really nice and gives me some support for my muscles. But it also just helps to relieve that tension in my head. And then, like I said, the muscle tension. So if you have sore muscles, if you've been working out a lot, maybe you worked out in the yard for a couple hours and your muscles are feeling sore, this is a good oil to apply to your skin topically, and it will help with your muscles. So I know that was probably a lot of information. I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope this is, making sense. So let's see. Okay, so we've talked about what oils are. I've gone over the seed to seal quality or guarantee that you get when you use Young Living. And then let's see. I guess what I could also tell you, which I was going to go over this at the beginning, but I guess it slipped my mind, is how I started using oils. So I know I told you my name is Rebecca. I'm 25. I used to work at Affiliated Blind. I'm now a social worker. But I'm going to tell you that when I started using oils, I was in search of something because I bought my starter kit in August of 2018. And what I was looking for, and I also want to mention that I'm not a doctor. And so, of course, I would advise and encourage anybody to go see a practitioner or anything, and not just take my word for this. But I was looking for something to take instead of my antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication, because I had been doing some research and I was learning that there are natural alternatives to those medications. And my mental health issues were set on by a chemical imbalance due to becoming allergic to birth control. And so this wasn't like the depression and anxiety was not something I had lived with my whole life. This was something that happened specifically because of the hormonal imbalance due to becoming allergic to the birth control. So I was on an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety medication. And after about 2 years of being on those, I had decided that I wanted to try an alternative. And so that's when I started using oils. And I used an oil specifically to balance my hormones. It's called Progessence Plus. It contains naturally derived progesterone from wild yams. I still use that oil. And I have been medication free for, I, I want to say 2 years, if not over 2 years. And so I no longer take that antidepressant or that anti-anxiety medication, and I take no prescription medication. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, and I don't believe that medication is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that for me personally, I knew that I was learning that there were alternatives and I was interested in those alternatives. And so that's how I started using oils, and I've been using oils ever since. And like I said, I use them throughout the whole day just to support my body and support my emotions. And so I just wanted to, I don't think enough people know about oils. And so I thought it would be fun to kind of come in here and tell you guys about them and help educate, so that if you're looking for an alternative and you're looking for something else to help support your emotions, support your immune system, if you deal with allergies, if you do burn candles and you're looking for an alternative, a diffuser is a great way to do that. And so I just wanted to come in and tell you guys about oils and what they can do.